So, as we approach mid-March, a question that is being asked is, when is the Apple March event 2023 happening and what will we see? Well, first things first, I do believe there is going to be an event, and that could happen at the end of March time, or it could actually also happen in the beginning of April. However, I think there's going to be two scenarios of what we could actually see at this event, and also how this could also affect everything else that we could see in 2023. And I want to explain those scenarios today. Now, there are lots of Apple products to come out before the end of 2023, including mainly Mac devices. However, there is one event that will be happening further on into the year that's definitely set in stone, what is in September time, and that's where we will see the brand new iPhone 15 models and also the brand new Apple Watch 2. But I'm just going to put that to one side because I want to talk about everything else today. So first of all, let me play out scenario 1 and what could happen with Apple launching all their other products. So at the Apple Spring event, what I'll say again will happen at the end of March or the beginning of April time, most likely in scenario 1, we will see the brand new MacBook Air Plus or the MacBook Air Max. And if you didn't know what this means, this is basically a larger MacBook Air. We've been told for ages that a larger MacBook Air is coming, and it looks like finally it is ready to launch. We've had lots of leaks and rumors of basically displays ready and also Bluetooth certificates also authorized, and it looks like it is definitely coming, and it's very, very soon that the launch is going to happen. And most likely, looking at this report here we had from Ming-Chi Kuo, there is the possibility that we could see an M2 chipset inside it and also the M2 Pro. And if we did get an M2 Pro, we're also expecting some fans inside this MacBook Air. Remember that we won't be seeing a smaller MacBook Air being launched alongside this because we already have the M2 MacBook Air, so I don't think we're actually going to see like a refreshed model of that because there's going to be no point at this stage. But another device that is most likely going to be also seen at this event is finally the Mac Pro. We haven't had a refresh of the Mac Pro since 2019. That's how long it's been. And in fact, it's Apple's last device to actually transition over to Apple Silicon. And when we do get that transition completed, we're most likely going to get an M2 Max inside, and we're also going to get the M2 Ultra inside it. One thing what's not too clear at the moment is basically to do with expansion ports and things like this, and expansion bays, and basically how we can upgrade the sort of Mac Pro. The first generation Mac Pro with an Intel chipset inside it, and also the latest version of the Mac Pro has been designed that you can actually sort of expand and put your own sort of expansion cards inside it, and also upgrade things like storage and RAM and things like this. And we're not too sure how Apple are going to do this with the Mac Pro this time round, so it's going to be really, really interesting to see how that's going to happen. But do expect that the Mac Pro is going to cost quite a fair bit of money. And we're also being told that probably we're not going to be getting a Mac Studio with an M2 Max inside it or an M2 Ultra in 2023. So we can put that to one side straight away. But moving forward a couple of months into the future, we will have WWDC 2023. And at this event, most likely, we're going to see the launch, or basically we're going to see the sort of announcement of the Apple VR headset. We won't be able to get our hands on the VR headset right there, right then, but developers will be able to code for it, and also the brand new OS will also be made available at WWDC. In this scenario, I don't think we're going to see any other sort of Apple devices launched at WWDC, but moving forward into September time, as I mentioned already, we will see the brand new iPhone 15 models and also the Apple Watch 9. But then, towards near the end of the year, around about October time, this is where there'll be a big event. We will have the launch of the Apple VR headset itself coming out to consumers. So this is what everything was prepared at WWDC. There'll be enough time for sort of developers to start making their initial apps and everything, but also we will see some brand new Mac devices. And mainly with that, we'll see the launch of the M3 chipset inside. The M3 chipset is going to be a bit more special than what we've had with the M2 chipset, mainly because it's going to be made on a 3nm die. And we're having everything put down onto a 3nm die. This basically means that transistors and things like this can be made even smaller and also even more closer together to basically give us even more efficiencies in power consumption and also performance too. Plus Apple doing their usual adding extra cores and also sort of tweaking up and clocking up those cores a bit more higher. We're probably going to be seeing some big boost here. I predict that we're probably going to be seeing around about a 70% gain in performance overall over what we had with the standard M1 chipset. And remember, that only came out at the end of 2020. So within 3 years, we're going to get basically a 70% increase in performance, what's going to be absolutely incredible. But the devices that I believe are going to be launched with the M3 chipset are going to be that brand new MacBook Air, and this will only be the 13-inch model. There won't be any sort of design changes, but we'll have the M3 chipset inside it. We will also probably get a brand new design MacBook Pro at last. I think that Touch Bar MacBook Pro is going to be gone for good, and we'll probably get a brand new design MacBook Pro with the M3, what's going to be absolutely awesome. And then finally, something else that we'll probably see is the iMac will also get a replacement with an M3 chipset put inside it, because it's been ages since the iMac original with the M1 has come out, and it is way overdue. But basically that is scenario 1. So let me go over scenario 2 now, what basically is the same kind of products that are going to be launched, but they could be launched in a bit of a different order. So let's go over that now, and starting with that March-April event first of all. The big difference here is that we will just basically get the Mac Pro, and I think we'll get that with that M2 Max and that M2 Ultra inside it. I don't think we'll get any other devices, but it'll be quite a short event, I think, you know, just to have that. But you never know, we may get updates to Apple TV sort of services, or, you know, like the Apple gaming services and things like this. Apple might take the time to actually talk about that at this event, and also talk about the Mac Pro only. But then moving on into a couple of months time, we could actually have WWDC, and it'll be a jam-packed WWDC. Not only will we have the announcement of the Apple VR headset, but I also believe that we could also see the announcement of the M3 chipset. And at that event, we will only get the launch of the M3 13-inch MacBook Air, and also that larger MacBook Air Plus or MacBook Air Max with that 15-inch display, also with the M3 chipset inside it. These will be the only 2 devices to have the M3 at this event. There'll be no other devices having it. But like I said, you'd have Apple VR announcements. It wouldn't be launched right there, it's just for developers, and also you'd have the launch of the M3 chipset on that 3nm die. But moving on to September time, again, as tradition would have it, we would actually have the Apple sort of iPhone event with the Apple Watch event, and that would be normal. But then moving over into October time, things would be a little bit different again. This time we would actually get the announcement, or would get the launch into your hands of the Apple VR headset, but also we might also see the launch of that brand new sort of MacBook Pro with the M3 chipset inside it, what I did talk about, and also the refresh of the iMac with the M3 too. And that is scenario 2. But in my own personal opinion, I think scenario 1 is more likely to happen than scenario 2. But I could be wrong, and to be honest, it could be a completely different scenario altogether. And on that note, guys, I'd love to know what you think the launch sort of pattern is going to be for Apple products in 2023. Put them down in the comments below. But one thing I would say I'd like to make clear, it doesn't look likely that we're going to get any big refreshes on iPads this year, and also it looks like the Mac Studio is being put down to one side for now, and we probably won't see a refresh on that till at least 2024, looking at everything that we have here. But there we go, guys. Those are the sort of predictions of what the Apple products we're going to be getting in 2023, and possibly the order they're also going to come out. Which Apple product are you most looking forward to coming out in 2023? Let me know down in the comments below too. And also on that note, guys, it's time to wrap up this video. So if you have enjoyed watching it, please do press the like button. And also if you want to hear the latest Apple news, reviews and comparisons, please also make sure you subscribe to this channel and also hit that notification bell. Until next time, guys, I will see you really soon. Take care. Bye bye.